What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. At Amazon Kindle, create space. Link will be in the description box below as usual. Go get it. PayPal link there also. They asked me to put it up, so I'll put it up. Thanks everybody for supporting. This video is entitled Lack of Young Skilled Workers Causes Worry. News article link will be in the description box also. So the link is from Oregon, where there's a news story about having a lack of skilled workers who are young, and it's causing a worry for the construction industry. And I put it up like on my Facebook page, and one of my homeboys hit me up about it. He was like, that's not just the construction industry, bro, because in my industry it's like that too. And when I was typing up the article to copy it so I could put it in the link, it had the same issue in other places, right? Japan, here, this, that, and the third. So one of the problems was this. What we got to deal with is the ideology that a lot of people have taught their kids to go to school and get an education, and that's cool, but you got a lot of studious people that don't have a work ethic. You know, that's what my homeboy told me. There's a lot of people that are very studious, but when it's time to get down and do work, they check out. And I thought about it in a multitude of ways, because even in the black manosphere, you know, the most skilled group in America who dominates skilled trade jobs are black men. So the fact that this was in Oregon, it's like somewhere we're not. But it's a shout out to some brothers who might be looking for something. Oregon might be open territory. They need your help, right? Now, you can make money there. But the other thing that I thought about along the way was this. You know, when people like BGS talked about automation, and when and sometimes construction workers have an off season where they'll be working good for a certain amount of time and then they're off. And I find it that the older I get, the people who I see working construction are older and older. I rarely see people who are young or look relatively young in that industry. But then when I thought about skilled trades also, you don't hear parents pushing their kids to be a welder, a machinist, work on a railroad or something like that. Electricians, plumbers, you know, because for some odd reason we put this bad stigma on the type of jobs that maintain a society. You know, that's not a skilled trade. And it doubled down earlier because I was working. I took a break and I decided to pay some bills on my break. I do that. So I walked into a cable store, right? You know, pay at the kiosk. And this was this younger brother there who was morbidly obese. He was on the phone. And in front of me was a lady at the kiosk. And she kept looking back and double checking. And I didn't realize this, but the guy wouldn't get up and actually put his own information in the kiosk. So he asked the lady at the store to do it. That's lazy. Why? And he's on the phone talking about Facebook. Now this gets even worse, because I guess he had to switch out his router and whatnot, or box. And when he did that, she gave him, you know, the new router or box and put it in a plastic bag for him to take home. And his first question was, you know, wait, nobody's gonna do this for me? And the lady was like, I mean, it could get done, but it's gonna cost you $90. And he's like, and she's like, what, you don't know how to do it? Like, your stuff should be, if it's already hooked up at home, just unhook it and put this stuff in. And she got to tell her, this sister had to tell this dude this. And I was like, ultimately, he's just lazy. Because to put a router and a cable box in, hell, the thing come with instructions when you get it. So, it's a problem. and be as a, and me as a person who I try to be as hands on with stuff as I can. I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing that article today because I don't see kids cutting grass. I don't see kids doing chores. The crazy part about it is, you know, I see a lot of lazy adults. Like, and everybody who works, they know this. They got people who are just, who say they working hard, but they're lazy. I'm mentally working, but you physically ain't doing nothing. If you mentally working and nothing gets accomplished, you really not doing nothing. If you mentally working and you're incompetent and you need somebody else to fix it, then you're really not doing nothing. And with all of these kids going to college and getting an education and getting saddled with student loan debt, like, why don't these, you can go to trade school. Even though you got student loan debt, pick up a trade, get into an industry, and make some good money. But then I thought about it also. This has a lot to do with entitlement. Like, certain people don't want to do certain things. A lot of people don't want to work with their hands. A lot of people don't want to work outside. A lot of people don't want to work in what you would consider dangerous environments or hazardous conditions or construction hours, which is sometimes the nighttime. And this is a problem because you got people feeling like they're too good for actual labor and labor that will pay, and you're probably going to see more and more of this because you see more and more people and parents and you see more adults, parents, and younger and their children who have a aversion to hard work. I don't care if it's in an office or or outside. They have an aversion to it. People think it's too good for it. Everybody wants a break. Everybody needs a vacation. Everybody needs, somebody else to do it, and it's pathetic and disgusting. But it's going to be profitable for other people because if you got a society that doesn't want to work or only wants to work in an industry that they want to work in, because you see certain fields get flooded, not necessarily because people like the field or there's something that interests them. It's because they get flooded because normally the pay, the prestige, and also when we talk about quote unquote working mentally, you're working in a controlled climate. So what you see is an oversaturation of markets that are skilled labor but in a controlled climate, and you see all of those people who don't get picked up or hired don't want to go into skilled labor that may be outside or in conditions that might get you dirty. But at some point, you're going to have to eat. You're going to have to be an adult. You know what I'm saying? So what you going to do then? You're going to have to work. You don't work, you don't eat, right? And it's got to be worrisome because I'm talking about Oregon right now, but, this type of mentality, as my homeboy said, because I live in a big metropolitan city. If he's dealing with this in his industry, I know it's pretty much everywhere. So, and when I talk to kids, everybody has dreams and nothing's wrong with that. But I think less and less people have a backup plan. I think everybody's just like, I'm going to chase my dream, and if it doesn't work out, I don't know. But back in the day, you used to have a backup plan. And this is becoming a problem because now you got people who are untalented, unskilled, and don't want to work on a talent or gain a skill because it requires effort. So this is going to be a big issue, probably for decades to come. So that's all I got to say about this. Like, share, subscribe. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.